Okay, here we go. First ride on the Priority 600X in the Western Cape of South Africa. I'll be honest with you, I did not think this was going to be that hard. It started simple enough. A loop around Paarl Berg via Jan Phillips Mountain Path, grazing the bottom of the tall monument and back down through town. 16 miles. What could go wrong? Well, I took a wrong turn, led me directly to an 8-foot fence. Look, I've done a lot of things in the name of adventure. Getting over that fence was definitely one of them. First little climb, but what a stunning view behind me. Okay, this is way nicer. I mean, heart rate is up probably 50%. But yeah, just a little vineyard road. Just grab a different gear here. Just a little vineyard road. And gorgeous views in back. Yeah, I'm not really sure if you can see that.
Workout paused.
3 miles, 1,100 feet or 1,150 for ascent. So yeah, let's get cooking. Man! Paarl. The name itself tells you something. In 1657, a Dutch explorer named Abraham Gaibema was sent inland by Jan van Riebeeck in search of new trading relations with the Khoikhoi. When he arrived in the Bergrivier Valley, the granite formations on the mountain were glistening after a rainstorm, and Gaibema recorded them in his diary as Den Diamant en de Paarl Berg, the Diamond and Pearl Mountain. The diamonds eventually dropped off the name, and all that remained was Pearl, or Paarl. Well, I'm definitely not fit to do this. Whoa. Carmen was saying there 15% grade, and I was pedaling up it. But then I can just feel my heart beating out of my chest. I looked over at my Apple Watch, and it was pushing 185. It's a little excessive. So I better get that sucker back down again before I do the rest of this. But it's fun. I'm just sitting here in the shade of a V-shaped vineyard, or Y-shape, however you want to call it. Looking over the bike into the mountains over there. This is not the preferred method, and I think I might have taken a wrong turn. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Okay, now my turn. The bike is over. What gives you the impression I'm from this country? Okay. Some mistakes were made. Once I finally made it over that fence, the trail opened up and the climb began. I think I took the left a little too short. And I'm putting me on this little vineyard path where I should have gone all the way down to that stoplight and then took a left and come up this road that we're going to be climbing right now. Maybe. Saddle took a little bit of a beating, but it's a bikepacking rig. It's supposed to get dirty and scruffy. It's kind of pretty, but it is freaking hard. Good gravy. Jan Phillips Mountain Path doesn't ease you into it. It just goes up. 30 years after Gabema named these rocks, the valley below began to fill with people. In 1687, Governor Simon van der Stel granted the first farms in this valley to the Dutch settlers. Beating is going to be worth the reward, I promise you. A year later, the French Huguenots arrived, Protestants fleeing religious persecution in France. They came with nothing but the clothes on their backs and the knowledge of how to grow grapes, and vineyards they planted. In doing so, they laid the foundation of what would become one of the great wine regions of the world. Paarl is the third oldest European settlement in South Africa after Cape Town and Stellenbosch, a town older than the country it sits in. I don't know how I should describe this feeling. Wie sou gedink het in my agterplaas, nou ek het agter die berge gebly. So I lived on the other side of those mountains in the town of Robertson. This is Paarl. And ja, wie het gedink dat hier sulke lekker paadjies is nie eens 2 ure weg van my af nie. Who would have thunk that there's roads like this or trails like this not even 2 hours away from me? From up here, you can see everything. The town spreads out below, the vineyards, the Bergrivier, the rooftops of a place that's been here for over 300 years. And beyond it, those mountains, the Tuiskloof Range. For most of Paarl's history, those mountains were a wall. Everything you see on this side, the Cape, the winelands, the coast, was connected. But beyond that range, the interior, the Karoo, and the rest of the continent, getting there meant going over them. The Tuiskloof Pass, named after Francois de Toy, one of the original Huguenot settlers who made his home in these foothills, wound its way up and over at 820 meters. During World War II, the pass was largely built by Italian prisoners of war, considered among the finest road builders in the world, who were housed in Worcester on the other side. The war ended before they could finish it, and local builders completed the job. Okay. Well, we should be starting to level out now. We've been climbing off to my right here. We're going off to my left there. Paarl in the background. Waterfall in the foreground, apparently. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool. I want to be clear. I was not moving fast up this mountain. I was moving persistently. There is a difference. And then, just when I needed it most, a waterfall. Small, tucked into the rocks. Not enough to swim in, but just enough to remind me that the mountain isn't entirely trying to kill me. And then you get to the top. You forget about the fence and the grade and your legs. Going down is a different kind of suffering. Your legs get the break, your nerves do not. At some point on the descent, another rider came past me. Not close, not dangerously close, just fast. Hey! I'd like to say I kept up. I did not keep up. Up here on the slope of Paarl Berg, you pass the Taal Monument, the Afrikaans language monument, a 57-meter concrete spire rising above the Fynbos. Afrikaans didn't come from one place or one people. It grew out of the collision of languages in this valley. Dutch settlers, French Huguenots, the Khoikhoi, and enslaved people brought from across Africa, India, and the Indonesia archipelago, all of them needing to communicate, all of them leaving something behind in the language. In 1875, a group right here in Paarl formally organized to have Afrikaans recognized as a written language in its own right. 50 years later, in 1925, it became an official language of South Africa. The tall monument was unveiled in 1975, exactly 100 years after that first meeting and 50 years after official recognition. A monument not just to a language, but to everyone who shaped it. Okay, so down the hill we go again. Homebound. So there somewhere. It's almost annoying having a view like that all the time. Especially knowing I've got to give it up in 2 weeks. Eventually the trail gave way to pavement, and I made my way through the working side of Paarl, the industrial streets, the quieter routes, away from traffic.
Ja, maar dat is onrechtvaardig daar.
There's something honest about a town's industrial edge. No wine farms, no Dutch architecture, just a place that works for a living.
I gotta say one thing. The cool thing is the taxis around here, they actually give you 2 honks when they're behind you. So then at least you know, well, besides my Varia, that somebody's coming up behind you. Goedemiddag. Kind of crazy to think I was just up there, like way up there. Oh man, this does not cease to amaze.
I found a park, a couple of down trees, sat for a minute, let the legs remember what flat ground felt like.
So, like I was saying, just coming up to the end of my ride here. I don't know how many miles. Just gotta love these people that don't even recognize a stop sign. Go away. 16.01 miles. My freaking knee is killing me right now. But I guess that's what happens if you haven't cycled in 4 months and you take on that beast. But yeah, thank you for watching this short little one rider.
And then the last turn, the road that leads back to Mom's place, the same road I left just a few hours ago, when I thought 16 miles sounded manageable. The loop closed, the mountain had its way, and I had mine.